We're standing outside the Allianz Stadium, and it was a terrific match. Well, obviously it depends on who it is you are supporting, but there was drama, there were goals. It was so interesting how Napoli started playing the much better football. They were fluid, they were attacking, they looked like they were confident, and you really started to think Ancelotti's gotten this all together so quickly, really having taken over from Mauricio Sarri, but yet you couldn't see you could see a transformation, but you didn't see them really going through a transitional period. But of course, it was Ronaldo who changed everything for Juventus from a leadership point of view and really physical.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I thought for the first 25 minutes of this game, there was a real risk that Juventus were going to get swept away. They were being outplayed, and then you remember what happens with great players. That first goal for me, it wasn't with the run of play. It was against a little bit. But Ronaldo, it was old school Ronaldo, wasn't it? You know, turning a guy inside out on the flank and then putting a crossover for Mandzukic. But what I think you saw as the game progressed from there, and certainly it was hugely impressive how Juventus sort of flicked a switch and did really take hold of the game after that. But I thought in particular that relationship between Ronaldo and Mandzukic, definitely Ronaldo's best performance, by the way.
Absolutely, hands down his best performance in the Bianconeri jersey.
Absolutely, and I think that a big part of that is because he no longer looks like he's not part of the team. And I think part of why he looks integrated is because him and Mandzukic are starting to look like a real partnership. Those two look like they understand each other, like they know where each other wants to be. To an extent, I suppose it shouldn't surprise us. I think if you had ever looked for one player in this team, Juventus before, who was that same sort of mentality, that same sharp in the big games guy, Mandzukic was the guy who scored against Madrid in the Champions League final. He scored in the World Cup final. The two of them, I think, get each other as individuals, and I think increasingly they definitely get each other on the pitch.
Yeah, but I think what was so important is that in the matches that we've seen it, like against Bologna, that Ronaldo looked so desperate to get a goal, and the team was just playing to try to help him get that goal. But what happened on this occasion was that he played for the unit. He played for the team. He was happy to just roam the pitch, find the spaces, create and deliver for Mandzukic. His sort of he tried something in a way different. He really put everyone ahead of himself on this occasion, and he was a real leader in pulling the team back in and making sure that Juventus played like they know how, like they're supposed to. And he got them back in the game, and then you could see at the end he was trying to get his goal because he's still Ronaldo. But I thought that was really different with the way that he did it this time round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 2 assists, one which wasn't quite an assist, and look, it was a shot that Ospina pushed onto the post, and Mandzukic finished up
3 assists.
But it's true. We talked about, funnily enough, Mandzukic specifically. I think a lot of people looked at him before Ronaldo arrived and said, hey, this could be your Karim Benzema. We know that Benzema worked for Ronaldo at Madrid, so we thought this is the guy who has always been a selfless player, someone who's willing to put in the hard graft for the team. It's funny that dynamic, I suppose, played out in reverse today, but I don't think that's something we can assume is going to be the way going forward. I think it's going to be Ronaldo just as often and more than is Mandzukic. But look, Mandzukic has 4 goals in 7 games, which is his fastest start ever to a campaign, and it's all good for Juventus as long as the goals are coming from somewhere.
It's interesting, actually, because Allegri said that he wasn't happy with the attitude, and then Ancelotti said that he wasn't happy with the attitude of his players. So neither of them really got it right, I guess, the whole way through. But what was interesting was you thought Ancelotti may have a way of just changing the game, but that second yellow, do you agree with the decision? Because I do.
Yeah, I think Mario Rui was treading a fine line even before half-time, and honestly, if there was one thing I would criticise Ancelotti for in this game, because I think he did a lot right, it was probably not getting Rui off the pitch, because right before half-time, Emre Can rode a challenge out by him that he could easily have gone down under, and he would have been off even then. So Rui was a problem. Ancelotti specifically talked about his team not having the courage late in the game to keep playing through the spaces that were there, and I actually think he's right. I mean, you look even at 2-1 down, even with Rui off the pitch, Callejon had a great chance. I think there were opportunities there, but I don't think I would knock Napoli too hard for this performance. I thought they played really well against a team that is going to take some stopping this season in Serie A.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as La Repubblica said, they said it was science fiction to imagine Juventus not winning an 8th consecutive Scudetto. And as for tonight, it's a step too far for Napoli, but that's all from us here in Turin.
You may consider, they created just enough separation with that win. I don't think anybody's catching Juventus. And I thought that it was a statement performance, not only by Juventus, but Cristiano Ronaldo in particular. His best performance for Juventus against Napoli in a game that they needed to win just simply to create that level of confidence and say, you know what, we're better than everybody else in this league. He didn't score a goal, and yet he impacted the game in every which way possible other than certainly scoring. And he would tell you scoring is for him a priority, but he was the best player on the field, and everything and anything that happened in the final third came through Cristiano Ronaldo. Old school Cristiano performance. All of a sudden he's taking people on the left-hand side, crossing the ball over, then cutting inside, hitting it. Not just a guy who's appearing in the 18-yard box, but creating things off the dribble as well. I thought he was excellent.